Time to pull up a chair. We've got another great story for you today in the rLounge. People regret 100% of the vacations they don't take. Today on rLounge, just take the trip and don't look back. Would I be the a-hole for not loaning money to my aunt to finish college? Throwaway account. Also, I don't live in the USA and English isn't my main language. So I, male 25, have recently moved to a house I bought in October. The house is one of the houses my dad's friends wanted to sell, so he gave me a discount for the house. He has lots of properties in my city and wanted to sell some because he is moving to Germany for work in April. It is a 3-bedroom house with a small garden in the front and a big garden in the back. I also finished my master's last August, and now I'm planning to travel to Europe in October for at least half a year after I finish the project I'm in charge of at my job in July. Now for the problem. I have an aunt, female 32, from my dad's side, who started college last October, around the time I bought my new house. She just told everyone she doesn't have the money to pay for the semester and can't continue unless she pays till February. The thing is, no one in her family can help her pay but me and her brother, male 39, who said no, and now everyone is on his back saying how heartless he is to his little sister. Even though I bought the house in full, so I don't need to pay for the mortgage and own my house myself, I had my trip money saved, and if I give it to her, she will have enough for the rest of her college years. Where I live, college costs around $15,000 to $20,000 for all the years, unless you study medicine, on average. Now she asked me if I'm willing to pay for her college, and she appreciates the gesture. She said that I don't have a mortgage on my house, so I can help her, and she would make sure to pay back by the time she finishes her studies, and even give interest if she can. The thing is, if I give her the money, I just won't be able to travel as I wanted to be planned and save the money for almost 7 years. My mom said that I need to help her because she's family, and she used to help me a lot with me when I was a kid, even though she was a kid herself at the time. My dad, on the other side, said that I should not help and let her figure it out for herself. He said that I deserve a break and should just ignore her and the rest of my family if they don't like my decision, and that I should just focus on my project and plan my trip when I have free time. When I talk with some close friends, and they split. I'm split about this myself because I truly want to help her out but didn't want to lose on the trip that I had planned and worked for. So Reddit, would I be the a-hole for not loaning money to my aunt to finish college? I would appreciate your full honesty about the matter. Honestly, no, you're not the a-hole here at all, OP. You've paid your dues. Your father is right here. You deserve a break. You've managed your money and worked hard for the trip up until this point. If your aunt can't afford school, that's on her. She should figure out a way on her own. If she can't pay for the semester right away, she can take a break, make up the money, and pick it back up after she makes enough to cover the cost. There's no guarantee she'd be able to pay you back, and that's a lot of money that you'd be out of pocket for. Edit, same post, January 22nd, 2023, the next day. Thanks to everyone who comments on the post. In the end, I decided to listen to my dad, why both he and my uncle are so against the idea. My dad told me to talk with my uncle because he doesn't want to shame her. Well, after he said that, I went to my uncle's house and asked him why he didn't help just to know if I really should, and he said to me that she will most likely not pay back by the time I need the money, or she stops learning again like last time. Something I didn't know is that both my dad and uncle helped her in the past when she tried to go to college a few years ago, but she dropped out and didn't return the money to both of them. My dad and uncle decided to forgive her and not let anyone in my family know about the money because she is their little sister and didn't want her to be ashamed by the rest of the family after what she did. After what he said, he told me I should keep it secret from everyone, but also not give her the money because he and dad think she will just waste the money and drop out like last time and just use the money for myself and no one else. Because of that, I chose to call her today and this morning to tell her I know about the last time when dad and uncle gave her the money, and even if I wanted her to succeed, she should have planned her college days better. I may have been harsh on her, but she got the message and she said she won't ask again. I do hope she finds a way to finish her academic studies, but I'm not going to help her after what my uncle told me. Exactly. Way to go, OP. She needs to figure it out on her own. No more free handouts. Update-ish post, January 27th, 2023. 5 days later. This is a sort of small update from this story on Am I the A-hole? So far what happened after is I got calls from some family relatives from my dad's side telling me that I should have helped her because this is what a family is for, and act like an ungrateful brat for only thinking about myself and ignoring a close family relative cry for help. Well, this pissed me off, and I chose to write in the family WhatsApp chat about how much I hate them for thinking that just because my aunt was done with her money and chose to go to college even though she didn't have the funds, it wasn't my responsibility. And if they want to help, and why don't they chip in to help her out? Or you just don't really want to help yourself and just like act all high and mighty in front of everyone? After that, I said that to everyone who shamed me and my uncle for not helping her. I'm not going to talk to or see them for a long time or even forever, depending on how I felt. And they aren't welcome to come to my house, and I would consider them trespassers if they came and called the police on them. I left the WhatsApp chat after that, and my dad called me a few hours later. He said that even if he thinks my reaction is over the top, he does think that I'm in the right and should have handled it however I like, even if he doesn't agree with sharing everything publicly. I was happy with the fact he was on my side, and my uncle was also on my side and even said that I was too nice in calling them out. My mom doesn't like how I acted, but my dad did, said that she thinks the way everyone talks about me is wrong and I should ignore them. I'm not sure if she agrees with me, but it is nice to see that she doesn't agree with the rest of the family, even with the fact she was basically on their side before. It has almost been a week, and every time I get a call from an unknown number, it is some annoying family friend or one of the ones I said that I'm not going to talk to them, saying that I should apologize for what I did and act like an adult. I do block every number now, and even if how I act is annoying, I still feel great with all the weight off of my chest and only focus on my work and my trip. Update post September 1st, 2023, 7 months later. Entitled aunt tried to break into my house and steal my money when I'm still outside of the country. So, I decided to go on my vacation 2 weeks ago because I finished the project I was working on in late May instead of July, like we thought we would, so I started to plan the vacation. Who is going to look after my house? I chose my 19-year-old brother because he can live in my home free of charge as long as he takes care of the place and I trust him. Now to what happened when I was in Germany. I got a WhatsApp call from my brother about how when he was away to get food, he found our aunt's car next to the house, and when he went to check, he found that she broke the door and was looking through my stuff to most likely to find something of value to steal, and she most likely didn't know my brother was temporarily living there and thought my house was empty. He called her out and said if she didn't get out, he would call the police, and Dad, he didn't want to handle the cops by himself, to try and threaten her. She refused and said that I owed her because now she has to take loans to continue college, and she believed that I should help pay her loans because I didn't help her back in January. I ended up calling the cops and messaging our dad, and when she realized, she went to her car and drove off. When the cops and Dad came, he told them what happened and showed the camera footage, which shows how she broke the door, went through my stuff, and wrecked the place. The cops took a copy of the footage and told my dad that they would handle the rest and keep in contact with him when they finished with her. He told me they caught her later in the night in her friend's apartment, and they were going to charge her with breaking and damaging my property, my TV, PS5, part of my games collecting, my gaming PC, and some stuff I don't care about as much as them. So now she is in jail and has a court hearing, and I need to be at that trial. Luckily, my dad's lawyer managed to only need me to be through Zoom instead of coming back to my country for the trial, as long as my dad will be there to represent me as well. Well, I feel like crap on my vacation even though it has been a week. I didn't know my aunt was capable of doing something like that, and some of the games she damaged are old favorites of mine. Pokemon Coliseum and Platinum, SMT, Digital Devil Saga and Nocturne, Persona 3 FES, Resident Evil 4, and more. Now, I hope when I get to France there won't be any more bad news and I can enjoy the rest of my vacation. At this point, I just hope the train ride will be nice. Wow, looks like she's really not going to go back to school now. She literally just blew her own chances. Honestly, if she was that desperate, she should have approached everyone in a gentler way and came up with a detailed plan of how she would actually pay people back. She also should have stayed true to her word when she received help from people earlier. This is no one's fault but her own. I'm sorry you had to deal with this while you were trying to enjoy your vacation. Edit. Same post, September 2nd, 2023. The next day. Hey guys, sorry for not responding. I had a train to France 3 hours after uploading the post and immediately went to sleep after getting to the hotel. Thanks for all the support in the comments. Now about what I'm going to do. I will press charges against her for all the damages she did to my stuff. I'm not going to go easy on her for what she did, and if anyone in my family will be against me, they can go F themselves. Tomorrow I have a Zoom call with my lawyer to see if I can get her to pay for the market price of all the games she destroyed, because most of them are GameCube DS or PS2 3 games, so they are hard to get now, and you can't even get them in my country because most of them were in good condition. I believe it will be easy to force her to pay for new, or at least second used at best. The trial is on the 12th of September, so I'll update at least a day later about how it went. Now I'm going to enjoy my time in France and have the time of my life here before the trial. New update post, September 13th, 2023, 11 days after last edit. Hey guys, it has been a nice 2 weeks and my time in Paris was great. So let's get to what happened in the trial. The trial was longer than I thought it would be. We were there for an hour and a half. In the trial, her lawyer said to her defense my aunt had a manic episode because of her not doing well in classes to the point she had to retake 2 classes in the summer, and if she didn't take them, she would have to repeat her first year. And also because she was a recovering drug addict, something I didn't know. She chose to use weed with her friend group, and that when the idea to rob me came, and she did it. As you can see, the defense wasn't good. I mean, weed only became legal for medical purposes recently. I mean, even her lawyer looked like she didn't have enough to work with, and the judge didn't look happy with this. As some of you suggested, I told my lawyer that the stuff she destroyed, like my computer and games, were important stuff to me, and that I lost the data from my games that I accumulated for almost 20 years. Not true, by the way. I have everything saved up as ROMs on my SD card in my room. I just didn't tell that to anyone. Thank God I did this. And he believes that she should also reimburse me for this stuff for market value, as long as other stuff like my door, fence, furnitures, and my stuff. I did my best to look sad when I was questioned about the whole thing, unlike my aunt, who looked like she was faking it. After all of this, the judge came with her sentence. She has to serve 3 years in jail, not because of breaking into my house, but because there was illegal weed in her car, but can get released early if she acts well in jail. She now owes me $8,200 for all the damages she caused, the amount of money for all the stuff she destroyed, as well as the games that took almost $2,000 by themselves. Luckily, she can pay with her car and some of her expensive stuff I didn't know she had, according to my dad, so I'll get the money eventually. Well, now she's in jail, and I'm sure that some of my family, the younger one who liked her, or the older, of course, I don't know. It seems that my close family are fully with me after realizing how bad she was, will hate my guts with some of the messages I got in the past 3 weeks, calling me selfish, an entitled prick, a backstabber, a smock, and more stuff that are way worse than that. Well, this is probably the last of this whole entitled aunt stuff, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of my vacation. Tomorrow I will go to London and have fun there. By the way, if you ever see this somehow, Messeret, I hope your time in jail was fun, and go F yourself for all you did. I also hope you changed as a person in the last years, but I'll never speak to you again. Honestly, you do you and don't worry about what everyone else thinks. You have your life together. So much so that you're able to go on beautiful adventures in different countries. You're doing something right, and everyone who thinks you're selfish is just jealous of that fact. What do you think? Thank you for following along today. Before you go, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you have something you want to share regarding today's content, we want to hear it. See you next time in the rLounge.